Hello? Well, now I'm here. Hello. Hello. But this is weird. Can you hear me? Am I still on it? That sounds good. It sounds like there's an echo. Oh, I think I know it. Okay. It looks like I'm better off to whisper everything. But I don't like that. I'll be not fully good with this. What does that mean? Can you not hear me well enough right now? You love it. Thank you. I'm a little bit confused. Hello, Cage. Dear witch. I'm not the whispers. Yes, so this is a different mic. You were first. This is Vi's mic. So it's a 3D. Oh, but I was freaking out because I couldn't figure things out. Vi's things are much fancier than mine. And I'm still trying to make sure I understand what I'm doing. Hi, everybody. Hopefully we're gonna figure this out. Can you hear me right now? I am in the apothecary. Look, that's why the background is here. That's why I had the little fancy witchy starting soon. You can hear everything. And yet, my voice sounds so weird. I don't understand. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? No. This is supposed to mute things. Okay. Can you hear me? It did mute, but there was a delay. Okay. That's weird. Alright. Hello. I think if you could hear me, that this'll be good. It's hard to hear you even with noise canceling. Okay, how about now? It feels really weird. I feel like I can hear everything. More the music, just a little bit. It's overwhelming. But that's a bit better. I'm scared to be loud with this stuff. Okay. Oh, I think I know why. I had my headphones volume way up, and so I could hear everything there. And now with it at a normal level, I feel less scared to make noise. Hi! Okay. Alright. Okay. If you guys can hear me now, let me know. I'm excited to sort this out. This sounds good? Okay. Finally sorted. Alright. What then? It's story time. Okay. Okay. I get overwhelmed by all this so much. But alright, so because we have buys fancy things, I also have some different setup stuff. Ooh, thank you for the follow. Token 2. Welcome. Thank you. Let's drop some dances, cause we gotta follow. Wiggle. Look at the frog wiggle. Okay, so my plans. We are reading, we're doing story times again, and I'm excited. Okay. I'm not gonna get over that I can hear a bit of an echo. And the fact that you guys can't, okay, but like, how? Anyway, okay. No, okay. I need to put that there. No. There we go. I think the biggest thing that's making all this overwhelming, confusing, is Vi has a PC and all the other tech stuffs, but it's just at the base level it runs way different from my stuff. So it looks weird to me. It looks like a lot. Okay, I don't want the piano. Okay, but oh yes. So what we're reading today is more of the Indian fairy tale book from my fairy tale collections. We actually only did like a handful of the stories and then got distracted with a ton of other stuff. Yawns. Anyway, so we have a bunch more fairy tales to read. And for someone that was wondering where all the SCP readings went, that'll be tonight. So we will do that, but not right now. Hello, Gary. Nuriakia, you're jostled? What happened? Or was that me? I don't know. I'm not paying enough attention. I'm overwhelmed looking at all the fancy things. Every time with the pizza, the pineapple and pizza. Okay. Oh, yes. I did have a funny little thing I wanted to show off. So let's actually, before story. Like I said, we have some new setup stuff. Well, she can do more things, and I can do a wink. Oh, but it doesn't always work. Let me try. Okay, that failed. Immediately failure. But I can puff up my cheeks, so the rage puffing will be fun. And but I wanted to take a second. I don't like that there's nothing else around. Normally I have a bunch of stuff. Oh, and I just realized I'm not gonna have my little spooky warning. The SCP. I won't have a trigger warning. I'll have to put it in the description then, I guess. Anyway, but she blinks and winks at different times now. New setup. I'm back. Oh, I'm back as well. Twitch is not being itself. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, the yawns already. Yeah, I'm sorry that it's overloading. It's lots for me right now, but not for the same reason. Oh, yes. Okay, So we'll have all the fun normals that we have used, but there's a couple of things. I got bread on demand. Haven't had that. And I have had fancy. And rats. I can have rats. And a couple of other silly little things. And I recently saw that Vi has the go F yourself redeem, and I guess I can do that now. But it's not a redeem. I haven't set it up. Gonna find the person who greenlit this BS. Yeah, track him down. You have a very particular set of skills, yes? Okay, and then remember biblically accurate raven? I found it again. But finally, there's a little surprise button here that I'm gonna click. I don't know what it does, but it's a surprise. So let's see what this is. What? What? I have a frog hit on my antler. Why? What have you done? Why? Look at the little Kirby. I do it for you, Kirby. Okay, away I go. Okay, let's do stories. After a big yawn. Oh, okay. Are we ready for story time? I know everything feels so weird. I feel so weird. This is very different. Ooh, nice Rizzadon. Okay, let's read. Wow. Okay. The one eye and then the other blink, the very frog blink. My sewing, the sewing. I'm gonna keep watching her because she looks so different. Like the way she's doing her weird eyes. Okay, model. You wait, I did it. Okay, story time. Don't mind me just fully distracted. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, okay. I'm going to change this thing to not be current trigger. Actually, can I? There you go. Nope. How does she do this? So, it's kind of chaotic. Okay, the first story is called Osseo, son of the evening star. Choo-choo. Oh, okay. I can't see around the mic. Okay. There we go. Ah, yeah, you right in. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. I have no bananas. No bananas to hide. Sorry. You'll be right over. Welcome in. Get cozy or disappear and look after yourself now. you give you the bananas. Look, I has no bananas. You will have to find them somewhere else. You can't be here because your Wi-Fi. Oh, I'm sorry. Good luck sorting your Wi-Fi. I'm sorry you gotta deal with all this stuff right now. Darkstorm, take care. I have no bananas, dog. I'm sorry. Okay, well, look in your. Feel free to go look after yourself. Do stuffs. This is cursed. Yeah. It's a bit weird. I will give you that. I still feel like something's wrong. Like I I I don't know what I'm. Hmm? If I roll higher than 10, I bite Frog. Like, you don't even have a frog to bite. You'll never find the Emerald Lake. I'm going to start reading. Oh, yeah. You do not have a good roll. You even have Vi's music. I do. This is Vi's place. I'm here at Vi's place. I have all of the stuffs. Her little apothecary all decked out. And the music back up. Ah! Crisis averted, enough said. Oh. Oh. With the, oh, thank you for the hydrate, Darkstorm. I'm telling you, everything feels like I can hear a pin drop, and I don't like it very much. Echoey, big space sound. Oh, bye-bye, Race. What was I doing? I'm gonna keep getting distracted and never start to read. That's what's gonna happen. Oh my god. What is going on? My yawns even had an echo to them. I don't like it. I did not start the story yet. I've written it. I have not started it. Oh right, yeah, okay. So because you, I will read first. I will manage that. This is not the new mic I ordered. This is Vi's mic. Thank you, Don. I don't really know if I'm sounding right. But you want Kalimba. You will probably get Kalimba. I thought I should say. So with redeems, I don't have all of my usual things. Oh, you little pouty. No, not now. Go sit in the corner for that. Being mean. Well, where was I? The stuff I do for redeems. Where? Brain? We definitely bred. I'm full bred right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't have my things. I have Vi's things. I am at her apothecary. It is her things. So, I will be doing the redeems that she has the stuff for. And if you have redeemed something that I cannot do, we'll do something that she has. So you can go ahead and ask for redeems, but you might not get the one you asked for. I will tell you first, and I'll ask if you want a refund. But I did sort out the first few that I know I can't do here, and then I realized, hey, but there's some stuff that guy has that I don't, that I can show off. So yeah, yes, I can. I am taking care of her stuff. Actually, Lahong. Fine, fine, fine. I don't know how loud that was. Right? I have to say, I'm not a big fan of this particular film. I like mine better. And I don't have my songs with me, so it would be different. I might not do kalimba if I can't pull up songs. Oh, the sound of putting the kalimba. What? Okay. Big echoey space. Anyway, okay. Oh. A session 0, right? Well, I'm glad you could join us, but no worries if you are busy with D&D. I would choose D&D. I want to choose D&D. Okay, let me play D&D. Session 0, part 2. Yes. Oh, yeah, okay. Burp. I need to read. I keep distracting myself. Oh, I got a cough. Oh, where's my mute? Okay. Can you still hear me? Oh, that's the music I muted. What? Everything's so different. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, the first one was setting and concept for the game. Tonight was planning out character ideas with the other players. Ooh, okay, cool. I don't think I don't know if it's like the headphones or it's the mic, but I can't. This is actually overwhelming me right now a lot. Oh, yay. Okay. Let's read the story and see how well we manage. Hey, you said headpads. I'll do headpads. Look at that. I'll get used to it. I hope so, but if it's a lot. Okay. Osseo, the son of the evening star. Let's get to our fairy tales from the Indian fairy book. We had started, we did not do much. Launch the rats. This is the rats I have. You want the rats? You get rats. Here's some rats. They move with me. It's so silly. Okay. Yes. We got the stuff all set up, and I showed you guys, but fairy tales are a bit scary, especially when it comes to Celtic culture. Oh yes, we have read some weird fairy tales, but this is Native American fairy tales, which will also get spooky. I know it will, but it's a different kind of spooky. I don't know if I should keep the rats up or put them away. I think they should stay up. I was feeling lonely. Oh, these are rats. These are rats. Everybody that knows Vi stream knows these are rats. This is her rat baby. I don't have I don't know. How does okay, I don't know. But I need to focus. I need to focus. My friend, the mouse looks scared. I think he's looking like a little bit either this again, or like yeah, touch my tummy. I don't know. Like he's either a little too into it or too disinterested. There's just a shine in the eyes, like it's a side eye. They're friends, okay. I didn't so they're vibing. They are. Okay. I can do this. I can read. It's just chatting for the first 30 minutes of stream, and there was like 15 minutes of nothing before this happened. I'm wasting so much time. Okay. Big cough. Okay. Here we go. Now focus. Osseo, the son of the evening star. Let's go. Hello, welcome in. No, they will not be a-holes. They know the rules. Yeah, the police say stop. There you go. Hi, Violetta. Okay. What did I already get this? I can't even read. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can pull this up. There once lived an Indian in the north who had 10 daughters, all of whom grew up to womanhood. They were noted for their beauty, especially Oweni, the youngest, who was very independent in her way of thinking. I can't. The echo is too much. I hate it. You know what? We're gonna do a quick. I'm gonna adjust and I'm gonna mute so that you don't hear a bunch of crash bang ow. And I think we're gonna whisper instead. I think it will be better. Okay. Hello, hello. Alright, this is going to be good. I did not forget to unmute. So now there's not the echo because I'm too quiet for it to echo. And it's making my brain a lot happier. As I was saying, there once lived an Indian in the north who had 10 daughters, all of whom grew up to womanhood. They were noted for their beauty, especially Owini. Hold on, no. They were noted. I feel like I can hold this a little bit better. They were noted for their beauty, especially Owini, the youngest, who was very independent in her way of thinking. She was a great admirer of romantic places and spent much of her time with the flowers and winds and clouds in the open air. Though the flower were homely if it was fragrant. Huh? Though the flower were homely if it was fragrant. Interesting. The wind were rough if it was healthful. And though the cloud were dark if it with this weird language and the music, I'm like, I'm reading a scene in a fantasy book or something. Okay. Music, where are you? You gotta die. There you go. You get to be barely on. Okay. Though the flower were homely if it was fragrant, though the wind were rough if it was healthful, Okay. I don't know if Whisper and Breath were talking and the big echo is better. Okay. Why are you rioting? Why? Okay. I can't. This and the audio is inconsistent. I imagine you guys aren't hearing it, but every now and then the audio will like dip out. I just did it again. And so I don't like how any of this is inconsistent. Okay, it's inconsistent for you guys. I can't. Fine. What have you done putting me here? I joke. I get close. Go. Okay. She paid very little attention to the many handsome young men who came to her father's lodge for the purpose of seeing her. Her elder sisters were all sought in marriage, and one after the other they all went off to dwell in the lodges of their husbands. But Owini was deaf to all proposals of the kind. At last she married an old man named Osseo, who was scarcely able to walk and who was too poor to have things like others. Okay, she marries an old man. That's who she decides. Alrighty, what? The only property he owned in the world was the walking staff which he carried in his hand. Though thus poor and homely, Osseo was a devout and good man, faithful in all his duties and obedient in all things to the Good Spirit. Of course, they jeered and laughed at Owini on all sides, but she seemed to be quite happy and said to them, "It is my choice, and you will see in the end who has acted the wisest." They made a special mock of the walking staff, and scarcely an hour in the day passed that they had not some disparaging reference to it. I'm getting very confused. They being the general other people, I guess. Among themselves, they spoke of Osseo, of the walking staff, in derision as the owner of the big woods or the great timber man. Okay, so they call him. My ears are just overwhelmed again. Oh, hi, Lantos92. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. And yes, let's do dances. Whenever we've got a new follower, we drop some little dance emotes. Any dance will do. There you go. This freaking mic. I'm overwhelmed a lot. Okay. Alright, they were calling him the owner of the big woods or the great timber man, making fun of his walking stick. That was where we were. True, said Owini, it is but a simple stick, but as it supports the steps of my husband, it is more precious to me than all the forests of the north. Huh? You just read the rules? Well, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. What's I? Oh yes. A time came when the sisters and their husbands and their parents were all invited to a feast. As the distance was considerable, they doubted whether Osseo, so aged and feeble, would be able to undertake the journey. But in spite of their friendly doubts, he joined them and set out with a good heart. As they walked along the path, they could not help pitying their young and handsome sister who had such an unsuitable mate. She, however, smiled upon Osseo and kept with him by the way the same as if he had been the comeliest bridegroom in all the company. Osseo often stopped and gazed upward, but they could perceive nothing in the direction in which he looked, unless it was the faint glimmering of the evening star. They heard him muttering to himself as they went along, and one of the elder sisters caught the words, "Pity me, my father." "Poor old man," said she, "he is talking to his father. What a pity it is that he would not fall and break his neck, that our sister might have a young husband." Presently they came to a great rock where Osseo had been used to breathe. What do you mean Osseo had been used to? To breathe his morning and evening prayer. The star emitted a brighter ray, which shone directly in his face. Osseo, with a sharp cry, fell trembling to the earth, where the others would have left him, but his good wife raised him up, and he sprang forward on the path, and with steps light as the reindeer, he led the party. No longer decrepit and infirm, but a beautiful young man. I just knew it when the star was like, sure, he's making him young. On turning round to look for his wife, behold, she had become changed at the same moment into an aged and feeble woman. Oh! Bent almost double and walking with a staff which he had cast aside. Osseo immediately joined her, and with looks of fondness and the tenderest regard, bestowed on her every endearing attention, and constantly addressed her by the term of Nanamusha, or my sweetheart. As they walked along, whether they were not, I can't freaking wrap my head around this. Okay. As they walked along, whether they were not gazing fondly, I don't know why, whether they were not, oh, sorry, it wasn't that, whenever they were not gazing fondly into each other's face, they bent their looks on heaven, and a light as if of far-off stars was in their eyes. On arriving at the lodge of the hunter with whom they were to feast, they found the banquet ready, and as soon as their entertainer had finished his harangue, in which he told them his feasting was in honor of the evening or woman's star, they began to partake of the portion dealt out, according to age and character, to each one of the guests. The food was very delicious, and they were all happy, but Osseo, who looked at his wife, and then gazed upward, as if he was looking into the substance of the sky. Sounds were soon heard, as if from far-off voices in the air, and they became plainer and plainer, till he could clearly distinguish some of the words. Oh boy, it looks like some of the words. It looks like you can hear all of the words, and it's a lot of words. My son, said the voice, I have seen your afflictions and pity your wants. I come to call you away from a scene that is stained with blood and tears. The earth is full of sorrows. Wicked spirits, the enemies of mankind, walk abroad and lie in wait to ensnare the children of the sky. Every night they are lifting their voices to the power of evil, and every day they make themselves busy in casting mischief on the hunter's path. You have long been their victim, but you shall be their victim no more. The spell you were under is broken. Your evil genius is overcome. What do you mean? Genius is kind of good, but when was he genius? Okay. I have cast him down by my superior strength, and it is this strength I now exert for your happiness. Ascend, my son, ascend into the skies, and partake of the feast I have prepared for you in the stars, and bring with you those you love. The food set before you is enchanted and blessed. Fear not to partake of it. It is endowed with magic power to give immortality to mortals, and to change... I lost my spot. I was distracted by a thing, and now I don't know what's happening. And if you're not, change immortality to mortals, change men to spirits. Your bowls and kettles shall no longer be wood and earth. The one shall become silver, and the other pure gold. They shall shine like fire and glisten like the most beautiful scarlet. Every female shall also change her state and looks, and no longer be doomed to laborious tasks. Thank you, Fet. With how different this feels, I needed that. Okay. Every female shall also change her state and looks, and no longer be doomed to laborious task. She shall put on the beauty of the starlight, and become a shining bird of the air. She shall dance and not work. She shall sing and not cry. My beams, continued the voice, shine faintly on your lodge, but they have power to transform it into the lightness of the skies and decorate it with the colors of the clouds. Come, Osseo, my son, and dwell no longer on earth. Think strongly on my words and look steadfastly at my beams. My power is now at its height. Doubt not, delay not. It is the voice of the spirit of the stars that calls you away to happiness and celestial rest. Wait, celestial rest? Oh, is he asking him to die? What's going on? Thank you, Everything W. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for that follow. Let's drop some dances. Boop, boop, boop. Any dance will do. Just hit us with some dates. Okay. We're right there, going to celestial rest, whatever that means. These words were intelligible to Osseo, but his companions thought them some far-off sounds and music. Why so many yawns? Far-off music, or birds singing in the woods. Very soon the lodge began to shake and tremble. They felt it rising into the air. It was too late to run out, for they were already as high as the tops of the trees. Osseo looked around him as the lodge passed through the topmost boughs, and behold, their wooden dishes were changed into shells of scarlet color, the poles of the lodge to glittering rods of silver, and the bark that covered them into the gorgeous wings of insects. A moment more, and his brothers and sisters and their parents and friends were transformed into birds of various plumage. Some were jays, some partridges and pigeons, and others gay singing birds who hopped about, displaying their many-colored feathers and singing songs of cheerful note. But his wife, Owini, still kept her earthly garb and exhibited all the indications of extreme old age. Why ain't she get all the fancy? He again cast his eyes in the direction of the clouds and uttered the peculiar cry which had given him the victory at the rock. In a moment the youth and beauty of his wife returned. Her dingy garments assumed the shining appearance of green silk, and her staff was changed into a silver feather. The lodge again shook and trembled, for they were now passing through the uppermost clouds, and they immediately after found themselves in the Evening Star, the residence of Osseo's father. "My son," said the old man, "hang that cage of birds which you have brought along in your hand at the door, and I will inform you why you and your wife have been sent for." So the family that was admittedly pretty mean, they're just all birds now. They don't get to be people, so. But birds is fun. And he's just like, "Oh yeah, go ahead and drop those over there. We don't need those no more." Osseo obeyed and then took his seat in the lodge. "Pity was shown to you," resumed the King of the Star, "on account of the contempt of your wife's sister, who laughed at her ill fortune and ridiculed you while you were under the power of that wicked spirit whom you overcame at the rock. That spirit lives in the next lodge, being the small star you see on the left of mine, and he has always felt envious of my family because we had greater power. And especially that we had committed to us the care of the female world. He failed in many attempts to destroy your brothers and sisters-in-law, but succeeded at last in transforming yourself and your wife into decrepit old persons. You must be careful and not let the light of his beams fall on you while you are here, for therein lies the power of his enchantment." Wow, okay, so no wonder all this stuff was happening. The one star power was help, but the other one that was right next to it was hurt. And you got a little bit of mixing it up. Therein lies his enchantment. A ray of light is the bow and arrow he uses. Osseo lived happy and contented in the parental lodge, and in due time his wife presented him with a son who grew up rapidly, and in the very likeness of Osseo himself. He was very quick and ready in learning everything that was done in his grandfather's dominions, but he wished also to learn the art of hunting, for he had heard that this was a favorite pursuit below. To gratify him, his father made him a bow and arrows, and then he let the birds out of the cage that he might practice in shooting. Forget your in-laws, just let your kids shoot them. Okay. In this pastime, he soon became expert. And the very first day he brought down a bird, but when he went to pick it up, to his amazement, it was a beautiful young woman with the arrow sticking in her breast. It was one of his younger aunts. Oh no, they're gonna end up together, aren't they? Or something, I don't know. Ooh. The moment her blood fell upon the surface of that pure and spotless planet, the charm was dissolved. The boy immediately found himself sinking, although he was partly upheld by something like wings, until he passed through the lower clouds. And then he suddenly dropped upon a high breezy island in a large lake. He was pleased on looking up to see all his aunts and uncles following him in the form of birds, and he soon discovered the silver lodge with his father and mother descending with its waving tassels fluttering like so many insects' gilded wings. Maybe not Alabama ending, but anyway. Okay, so because you shot your auntie, you fall from the sky? Okay. Okay. They're talking about the lodge. Oh, sorry. The lodge is falling. It rested on the loftiest cliffs of the island, and there they fixed their residence. They all resumed their natural shapes. Does that include the one auntie that's probably dead? They all resumed their natural shapes, but they were diminished to the size of fairies. Ooh, little ones. And as a mark of homage to the King of the Evening Star, they never failed on every pleasant evening during the summer season to join hands and dance upon the top of the rocks. Very fairy. Wow, okay. These rocks were quickly observed by the Indians to be covered in moonlight evenings with a larger sort of inies, or little men, and were called Mishinimokinaugug, or little spirits, and the island is named for them to this day. Their shining lodge can be seen in the summer evenings when the moon beams strongly on the pinnacles of the rocks, and the fishermen who go near those high cliffs at night have even heard the voices of happy little dancers. And Osseo and his wife, as fondly attached to each other as ever, always lead the dance. The end. Okay, but like, you were bullied by your in-laws, you got yoinked away, and in doing so turned them to birds and didn't really care. In fact, you let your son shoot at them. Oh, sorry. You let your son shoot at them, kill one of them, and then you're just like, oh, I guess we're fairies now. And you guys are back to being peoples. Wanna dance? Let's hang out. Like, what is that? What? You're just listening at this point. I'm completely confused. I know right now I'm not helping. If I can't like feel comfortable with the feedback and the sound, I will think, like, I think my words start to slur and stutter more, and so that's not helpful. And then this story had a bunch of interesting grammar sometimes sprinkled in that confused the hell out of me, so not very helpful the way it was read. I sound great. Thank you, Violet. I know that I feel weird, but yeah, it all came together that I didn't know what was happening a little bit too. But okay, so pretty young daughter marries old man. Everybody's like, loser. And then they go on a hike. They're going out on a hike together. It's a big long hike, and the old man, he's an old man. He's not doing it very quickly, and everybody's making fun of him more. And then he's really struggling, and people are like, is he talking to himself? What is he doing? And he's looking up at the sky, and they're like, oh, he's talking to the sky? Oh, did he just say dad? He's talking to his dad in the sky. Is he okay? And then he's not an old man anymore, and he's all young and fit, and he can run up the hill. Oh, oops, but his wife is old now. Sorry. And then they get to a lodge and the guy's serving food and he's like, this is all for, well, that guy's dad, actually. Hey, shout out to your dad. And then dad speaks to him because he's a star. And he's like, son, ditch these losers and come hang out with me. Actually, you know what? We'll just turn them to birds. Come on. And just like pulls the whole lodge up. They're birds. Except for him and his wife. He makes his wife young again. And they have a kid. While they're up there, the rest of the family is birds. And then they're like, oh, you bored, kid? Okay, we'll give you a bow and arrow. Go hunt your aunties. go be busy. And kid did kill one of his aunties, one of the birds, and she fell down dead and became a human there. As soon as her blood hit the floor, the whole lodge falls back down, and everybody got turned into little fairies, little peoples. And now that they're little peoples, they're like, well, I guess we gotta do fairy shit. Let's dance on some rocks. We're good, right? Yeah, I know I sent him to kill you guys, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's dance. The end. Did you like my summary? I liked it. Okay. That was that story. Let's do triggers. Not quite how that's spelled, but you're trying. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there we are. The smoke. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I was pleased. So I'm gonna try and do kalimba, and while I'm looking for music instructions, we have a trigger word from Dawn. In the night, a raven whispers soft and clear, sleep deprived while seeing a deer. Her voice, an addiction I need to hear. In her stories, I find peace and dreams disappear. That doesn't sound good. Have the dreams. Please, go eat. Please eat. Thank you. That was cool. Let's write this stuff. I can do scissor snips and singing frog and sniffs. All of those will be fine. Fine. Okay. Oh. All right. Kalimba. Goodness, I don't know what this. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so I have to run an ad now, but it's good timing. I'll just be setting up kalimba. So here comes an ad. Warning. Here it comes. Okay. Kalimba tabs. There we go. Ah. Alright. I think this one will work. I've never done this one. Let's see if we can hear it. what kalimba sounds like on this? It sounds like you just get a really flat bonk. Whereas I hear the pretty. Does it sound like normal kalimba to you guys? Or does it sound like it's just clicking? Because it sounds like just clicking to me, and I don't get it. Again, the audio, it feels so weird. I don't know what's happening. I definitely have to figure out a different headphone situation for next stream. But I have a plan. I do have a plan. Okay. Oh, well, shush music. We definitely don't want mute. I'm making my own music. Get out of here. Okay. Yeah, let's try this one out. Okay. Mm. Mm. This does not sound very much like the song is trying to be. Not like the first note to it. Oh my gosh. Mm. Oh, that's okay. No, I don't get it. It doesn't sound very good. I don't like it. Oh wait, no, okay. I know why. I think. I think that's gotta be a typo. That can't be. No, it doesn't sound very good. I don't like it. I think this is also out of tune. Mayhaps. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, immediately sounds so much better. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. don't know where I'm going with this. I'm fiddling around and wasting a bunch of time. Okay. No, I don't like so many of the ones that I have found. I feel like, no, you're wrong. That's not how that song is done. See if this one is better. Yeah, this is the one that works. Now you could tell what song it is, maybe. I can't even tell what song it is. Oops, sorry. I like that. That one finally came together well. Okay, glad I sorted that. Alright. You go there. Okay. Magnifico. Fantástico. Where the heck was I? I just disappeared for a while. The British brain is strong. Okay. Scissor snips. Let's do some scissor snips. I like that. Okay. And Raven, back on track. I think eventually. Alright. Here we go. Can you hear this? Oh no. Sound as sensitive as I would hope it would. Why are you not making the sounds? That was bad. I did not snap frog eggs. I swear everything sounds wrong, but I can't really tell. I'll know when I get different headphones on. No, the frog is fine. I promise. It's a cute little guy. You know, it's a frog. See, as a raider, you can see the little musical notes better because it's a green background. That's perfect. I still need to fix up that emote. Okay. Where was I? Next. Oh, this will be interesting. Different mic. This might go very poorly. Let's see what we're even. Alright. Alright. Oh yes, and hi Sukuyomi. Oh my gosh. Sukuyomi. Sukuyoki is what I was kind of starting to say. Huh. I can't like the frogs anymore. Huh? Oh, you. Oh, I'm sorry. We need more subs. Okay. Hello? Can you hear me? It looks like the mic just gave out there. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna move on. Because I can go into more stories. And that is plenty good with me. Okay. I'm not gonna do Osseo anymore. We finished that story. What is the next story? Thought you were brushing until I heard sniffer. Yeah, I don't know. Fancy Mike is not picking sniffer up well. I'm nervous. Some of these triggers might not go so well. I don't know how Vi does that. Something's up. But alright. Next story is let me do the stuffs. Gray Eagle finishes and his 5 brothers. There you go. Yeah. Okay. I think that is good enough. What did the frogs do? I've been scammed? Oh, you've been scammed out of your sniffs? I did sniffs. I did do sniffs. They were not hurt. That that might be one. You know what? How about I give you an extra one of Vi's things? We'll count sniffs as one that doesn't work very well here. So I'll have to give you. Which will we do? I think this one. Okay. Let's see. Going to have to. Can you even hear that? Okay. Hmm. How does she use these? I can't make any sound from it. Never mind. I give up. I can't do these. Mm-mm. Sorry, what was it? Hear when I'm touching one end, but I can't hear the little. I don't get it. It's like the mic is cutting out some things, and I don't know why. This is stressing me out. I give up on that, and then I couldn't even hear myself. I need to take a breath. It's stressing me out how things aren't working the way I thought they would. Yes, Fet, let's pause. Sniffs, cause. Oh no, okay, we can do sniffers. I just wasn't able to do it then. Like, I don't know why I couldn't hear it. Can we hear this? No. Why can we not hear that? I could hear that just fine. Oh, it's okay, Raven. It's okay. Alright. Let's move along. Let's go to the next story. I can do that at least. Okay. We have Grey Eagle and his 5 brothers. Alright. There were 6 falcons living in a nest, 5 of whom were still too young to fly, when it so happened that both the parent birds were shot in one day. Oh no. The young brood waited anxiously for their return, but night came and they were left without parents and without food. Grey Eagle, who is a falcon, interesting, the eldest and the only one whose feathers had become stout enough to enable him to leave the nest, took his place at the head of the family and assumed the duty of stifling their cries and providing the little household with food, in which he was very successful. But after a short time had passed, by an unlucky mischance, while out on a foraging excursion, he got one of his wings broken. Oh no! This little falcon family is just dealing with so much. This was the more to be regretted as the season had arrived when they were soon to go to a southern country to pass the winter, and the children were only waiting to become a little stronger and more expert on the wing to set out on the journey. Finding that their elder brother did not return, they resolved to go in search of him. Hello, Slutty Waffle. Bird's gonna need Red Bull for wings. Ha ha ha. I don't know if we'd have hands holding frogs for me. Oh, I'm just seeing Neff, your lurk. Hello. Welcome, welcome. We could always give Vi to help troubleshoot. Yeah, I will not try to bug Vi right now. Where was... Oh, yeah. Finding that their elder brother did not return, they resolved to go in search of him. After beating up and down the country, for the better part of a whole day, they at last found him, sorely wounded and unable to fly, lodged in the upper branches of a sycamore tree. "Brothers," said Grey Eagle as soon as they were gathered around and questioned him as to the extent of his injuries, "an accident has befallen me, but let not this prevent your going to a warmer climate. Winter is rapidly approaching, and you cannot remain here. It is better that I alone should die than for you all to suffer on my account." "No, no," they replied with one voice, "we will not forsake you." They have a whole speech, so they said all of this in one voice. Sounds a bit crazy, but anyway. "We will not forsake you. We will share your sufferings. We will abandon our journey and take care of you as you did us before we were able to take care of ourselves. If the chill climate kills you, it shall kill us. Do you think we can so soon forget your brotherly care, which has equaled a father's and even a mother's kindness? Whether you live or die, we will live or die with you." They sought out a hollow tree to winter in, and contrived to carry their wounded nestmate thither, and before the rigor of the season had set in, they had, by diligence and economy, stored up food enough to carry them through the winter months. Good little smart falcons, good jobs. To make the provisions they had laid in the last... To make the provisions they had laid in last the better, it was agreed among them that 2 of their number should go south, leaving the other 3 to watch over, feed, and protect their wounded brother. My brothers. The travelers set forth, sorry to leave home, but resolved that the first promise of spring should bring them back again. At the close of day, the 3 brothers who remained, mounting to the very peak of the tree and bearing Grey Eagle in their arms, watched them as they vanished away southward, till their forms blended with the air and were wholly lost to sight. "I'm bored." So they watched the 2 that flew away. Their next business was to set the household in order, and this, with the judicious direction of Grey Eagle, who was propped up in a snug fork, with soft cushions of dry moss, they speedily accomplished. One of the sisters, for there were 2 of these, took upon herself the charge of nursing Grey Eagle, preparing his food, bringing him water, and changing his pillows when he grew tired of one position. She also looked to it that the house itself was kept in tidy condition, and that the pantry was supplied with food. The second brother was assigned the duty of physician, and he was to prescribe such herbs and other medicines as the state of the health of Grey Eagle seemed to require. As the second brother had no other invalid on his visiting list, he devoted the time not given to the cure of his patient to the killing of game wherewith to stock the housekeeper's larder, so that, whatever he did, he was always busy in the line of professional duty, killing or curing. On his hunting excursions, Dr. Falcon carried with him his youngest brother, who, being a foolish young fellow and inexperienced in the ways of the world, it was not thought safe to trust alone. On his hunting excursions, Dr. Falcon. So the one that did the doctoring and hunting brought his youngest brother, who was fairly foolish and inexperienced. Oh, and they didn't trust him alone wherever he was. That's what they meant. In due time, what with good nursing and good feeding and good air, Grey Eagle recovered from his wound, and he repaid the kindness of his brothers. Sorry, I'm a little confused as to what our numbers are with the brothers and apparently 2 sisters. And was it because, like, you had been just saying brothers and then they, like, dropped in a couple that there was, in fact, 2 sisters? Was the ladies included in the we'll all stay or go kind of talk? Because, like, I don't know what's going on here. It feels very weird. Okay. Repay the kindness of his brothers by giving them such advice and instruction in the art of hunting as his age and experience qualified him to impart. As spring advanced, they began to look out for the means of replenishing their storehouse, whose supplies were running low, and they were all quite successful in their quest except the youngest, whose name was Peepee, or the Pigeon Hawk, and who had of late begun to set up for himself. Being small and foolish and feather-headed, flying hither and yonder without any set purpose, it so happened that Peepee always came home. Yeah, and it's spelled P-E-E-P-I. Peepie. Maybe Peepie? Peepee. So happened that Peepee always came home, so to phrase it, with an empty game bag and his pinions terribly rumpled. At last Great Eagle spoke to him and demanded the cause of his ill luck. "It is not my smallness nor weakness of body," Peepee answered, "that prevents my bringing home." He's a little Peepee. He's just a little bitty Peepee. Okay. "That prevents my bringing home provider as well as my brothers." Provender. Bringing home provender as well as my brothers. "I am all the time on the wing, hither and thither. I kill ducks and other birds every time I go out, but just as I get to the woods on my way home, I am met by a large kokoho, who robs me of my prey, and," added Peepee with great energy, "it is my settled opinion that the villain lies in wait for the very purpose of doing so." "I have no doubt you were right, brother Peepee," rejoined Grey Eagle. "I know this pirate. His name is White Owl, and now that I feel my strength fully recovered, I will go out with you tomorrow and help you look after this greedy bush ranger." Peepee versus the bush ranger. Oh my gosh. The next day he went forth in company and arrived at a fine freshwater lake. Grey Eagle seated himself hard by while Peepee started out and soon pounced upon a duck. "Well done," thought his brother, who saw his success. "Well, thank you for the hydrate." But just as little Peepee was getting to land with his prize, up sailed a large white owl from a tree where he too had been watching, and laid claim to it. He was on the point of wresting it from Peepee when Grey Eagle, calling out to the intruder to desist, rushed up and, fixing his talons in both sides of the owl, without further introduction or ceremony, flew away with him. So the falcon, gray eagle, just yoinked the little white owl out of there. Little pigeon hawk, Peepee, followed closely with the duck under his wing, rejoiced and happy to think that he had something to carry home at last. He was naturally much vexed with the owl, and no sooner delivered over the duck to his sister, the housekeeper, than he flew in the owl's face, and venting an abundance of reproachful terms, would, in his passion, have torn the very eyes out of the white owl's head. So he was like, I'm gonna rip you to shreds. Trash talking while his brother's holding him. Okay. Oh, and he's oh, so he was actually gonna go ahead and rip out the eyes. Ooh. Softly, Peepee, said the great eagle, stepping in between them. Don't be in such a huff, my little brother, nor exhibit so revengeful a temper. It was an angry Peepee. Do you not know that we are to forgive our enemies? White Owl, you may go, but let this be a lesson to you, not to play the tyrant over those who may chance to be weaker than yourself. So after adding this much more good advice and telling him what kind of herbs would cure his wounds, Great Eagle dismissed White Owl, and the four brothers and sisters sat down to supper. Okay, the numbers are changing consistent. I'm very confused. Or maybe there's only one sister at home and the other sister left. And then, no, I don't. Oh, the numbers are out of. No. Okay. The next day, betimes in the morning, before the household had fairly rubbed the cobwebs out of the corners of their eyes, there came a knock at the front door, which was a dry branch that lay down before the hollow of the tree in which they lodged, and being called to come in, who should make their appearance but the two nestmates who had just returned from the south where they had been wintering. There was great rejoicing over their return, and now that they were all happily reunited, each one soon chose a mate and began to keep house in the woods for himself. Hello, Goldie. Welcome. Spring had now revisited the north. The cold winds had blown themselves away, the ice had melted, the streams were open, and smiled as they looked at the blue sky once more, and the forests, far and wide in their green mantle, echoed every cheerful sound. But it is in vain that spring returns, and the heart of nature is opened in bounty, if we are not thankful to the Master of Life who has preserved us through the winter. Nor does that man answer the end for which he is. What is this? Okay. Nor does that man answer for the end for which he was made, who does not show a kind and charitable feeling to all who are in want or sickness, especially to his blood relations. Just a solid moral. Hey, be good. Uh, The love and harmony of Grey Eagle and his brothers continued. They never forgot about each other. Every week, on the fourth afternoon of the week, for that was the time when they had found their wounded elder brother, they had a meeting in the hollow of this old sycamore tree, when they talked over family matters and advised with each other, as brothers should, about their affairs. Again, why not the sisters? Or are you including the sisters in the... I don't know. Anyway. The end. Okay. Big yawn. Oh, it has been alright. Hello, DJ. When did Raven get rats? When I went to Vi's place. I'm here. I'm doing it. What is going on with everything here? watching over Vi's Apothecary, and so I has the rats. And I've been having bread brain, but I can get rid of that. Might bring it back. I don't know. Well, I think we can keep that. But I liked having my rats, so I think I'll keep them around. They keep me company, and I like that. Ugh. Ugh. I feel so drained, and it's still not any better because the sound is still really weird with me. Y'all said I would get used to it. I can sometimes like phase it out, filter it away, but it'll hit me with a random word and I'll get feeling really weird. Thank you for stretch. It's a good one. Ah. Okay, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I think what I will do is I will try another one of the things. We'll see if it'll work. We want to sniffs. We will do this one. I'm plotting something. Wahaha. Check this out. I need to do this. Can you even hear it? What's awful is that I think all you can hear is a very faint thunk. And just like my big tapping sounds is what you can hear. This is me saying there's either something technical going wrong or I don't know if I like 3DO. Tell me if you can hear this. The little water jar thing. You can hear the dunk dunk dunk. Yeah, but you can't hear the water then. Let's see. That's all I hear. It's just a tappy taps. Something is up that I can't hear shit. I don't like it. And I wonder if this is better, but it's not. I don't like that. I wonder if there's like a low wave pass, like they're trying to cut out low register stuff. It's not a new mic, it's that it's Vi's mic. And I don't understand how Vi does this. Cause you know this is something. Yeah, and you can't hear this. This is brushy and you can't really hear it. I'm right up on the thing. I don't understand how the sound is so weird. Let's see. Is this better? Nope. Raven is looking after Vi's apothecary, yeah. I am doing that. No. Hello? Baby? Every time I try the brush, it's like I can kind of hear it at first. Oh wait, maybe this is it? No, you can just hear the little tappies. I don't understand. I don't understand. What's going on? I will have to try and figure that out another time. I don't like how much I have to play with. New mic is always a learning curve. Yes, 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 yes. Hold on, let me try. Okay. Can't even tell. Maybe the brushing. Nope. Oh. Well, you can hear the little bubbly guy just a tad better now. Let's see. Hey, you could hear that guy finally. Let's see. Can you hear any of that? I'm messing with the water jar. Can you hear it? Blubble. Still so quiet, if at all. It's hard. I can't fully sound. I feel like the only sound you can hear is tap and water slosh, but you should be able to hear the weird whoa, 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 whoa. And it's not. Let's see about this one. Let's see about this. Ha 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 ha. Whoa. It's a tuning fork. You can hear the wobble, or you could hear the thunk. I don't. You can't hear the wobble. Okay. Well, then maybe there's more than I thought. Let's try. No, brushes is pretty well fail. Brushes is a fail. I fail. Huh. There's one thing I could try. Not sure if this one will work. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I think there's something that's off because you're supposed to be able to hear this. Mm. Can you hear it? So that weird noise in just one side, oh sorry, in just one side of it was trying to be my heartbeat, but I could only hear it when I racked up the sound so much that actually you could hear some swishing of some sort, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what's going on with this mic, that we can kind of hear some things and then we kind of can't hear things, but I know we'll be able to hear this one. It's loud. Sorry. All of this is a big learning curve, and I apologize. And I'm playing around, and it's too much. This pod will not do well. Tinkering with the apothecary equipment. Very much so. Very, very much so. I'm having fun, but then I'm not having fun. Okay. Let's go to the next story. How about that? How about we do the next story? Arms, why are you detached? Arms. Huh? Let's see this. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Yeah. Gotta play around with things. Decide if I want to have something like that. I would say, I don't know. There is a lot going on here that is not working, so I can't tell if it's a good idea or not. No, I'm not trying to move my bread. What the heck is going on? Okay, let's do stories. Okay. There we go. The next story is a fun title. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. It is the Toad Woman. Toad Woman. I think that's fun. Anyway, so my guess is that this might be. Oh, can you see if I has any chocolate mint? Trying to make hot chocolate. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it over to you. That's one thing I'm not good at. I am not authorized to sell any potions, or make any potions, or touch potion things. So, hot chocolate do be kind of a potion. Yeah, that little guy. Look at those little. They're so cute. Oh, I can't do that. You know what? I'm surprised. No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't say anything. I don't wanna. I don't wanna jinx it. Okay. The next story, we'll read the Toad Woman. That's what we'll do, Raven. Oh, my God. Oh, goodness. Eepy. Okay. Okay, here we go. The Toad Woman. Great good luck once happened to a young woman who was living all alone in the woods with nobody near her but her little dog. To her surprise, she found fresh meat every morning at her door. She was very curious to know who it was that supplied her, and watching one morning, just as the sun had risen, she saw a handsome young man gliding away into the forest. Having seen her, he became her husband, and she had a son by him. This is just yeah. And now I saw you. Now you're mine. You're my husband. Done. I know that they mean eventually, but like still. Okay. One day, not long after this, he did not return that evening, as usual, from hunting. She waited till late at night, but he came no more. The next day she swung her child to sleep in its cradle, and then saying to her dog, "Take care of your brother while I am gone, and when he cries, halloo for me." Shout for me, basically. Oh, no worries, Cage. There will be a second stream, don't worry. I find it odd that it says, swung her child to sleep in its cradle, but then we immediately learn it. We did give pronouns to the baby. It's he. Um, so like, why call a baby it? Anyway, the cradle was made of the finest wampum, and all its bandages and ornaments were of the same precious stuff. After a short time, the woman heard the cry of the dog, and running home as fast as she could, she found her child gone and the dog too. What the hell? On looking around, she saw scattered upon the ground pieces of the wampum of her child's cradle, and she knew that the dog had been faithful and had given his best to save her child from being carried off, as he had been, by an old woman from a distant country called Makaki Mindemoia. Makaki Mindemoia. Okay. Or the Toad Woman. The mother hurried off at full speed in pursuit, and as she flew along, she came from time to time to lodges inhabited by old women, who told her at what time the child thief had passed. They also gave her shoes that she might follow on. There was a number of these old women who seemed as if they were prophetesses. Prophet works just fine to me, but okay, prophetesses, and knew what was to come long beforehand. Each of them would say to her that when she had arrived at the next lodge, she must set the toes of the moccasins they had given her, pointing homeward, and that they would return of themselves. The young woman was very careful to send back in this manner all the shoes she borrowed. She thus followed in the pursuit, from valley to valley and stream to stream, for many months and years, when she came at length to the lodge of the last of the friendly old grandmothers, and they were called, who gave her, as they were called, who gave her the last instructions how to proceed. She told her that she was near the place where her son was to be found, and she directed her to build a lodge of cedar boughs hard by the old told woman's lodge, and to make a little bark dish, and to fill it with the juice of the wild grape. Then she said, "Your first child," meaning the dog, "will come and find you out." These directions the young woman followed just as they had been given her, and in a short time she heard her son, now grown up, going out to hunt with his dog, calling out to him, "Pewalbic, spirit iron, twee, twee." The dog soon came into the lodge, and she set before him the dish of grape juice. "See, my child," she said, addressing him, "the pretty drink your mother gives you. See, my child, the pretty drink your mother gives you." Spirit Iron took a long draught and immediately left the lodge with his eyes wide open, for it was the drink which teaches one to see the truth of things as they are. He rose up when he got into the open air, stood upon his hind legs, and looked about. "I see how it is," he said, and marching off, erect like a man, he sought out his young master. So just a dog walking on his back legs, saying, "I see, I see." Not weird at all. Approaching him in great confidence, he bent down and whispered in his ear, having first looked cautiously around to see that no one was listening. "This old woman here in the lodge is no mother of yours. I have found your real mother, and she is worth looking at. When we come back from our day's sport, I'll prove it to you." They went out into the woods, and at the close of the afternoon they brought back a great spoil of meat of all kinds. The young man, as soon as he had laid aside his weapons, said to the old told woman, "Send me some of the best of this meat to the stranger who has arrived lately." The told woman answered, "No, why should I send to her the poor widow?" Huh? Would that... Okay, I don't know. Why wouldn't you send something to a widow, is what I'm wondering, but okay. The young man would not be refused, and at last the old toad woman consented to take something and throw it down at the door. She called out, "My son gives you this." But being bewitched by Mukaki Mindamoia, it was so bitter and distasteful that the young woman immediately cast it out of the lodge after her. In the evening the young man paid the stranger a visit at her lodge of cedar boughs. She then told him that she was his real mother, and that he had been stolen away from her by the old toad woman, who was a child thief and a witch. A bad witch, not a good witch. As the young man appeared to doubt, she added, "Feign yourself sick when you go home to her lodge, and when the toad woman asks what ails you, say that you wish to see your cradle, for your cradle was of wampum, and your faithful brother the dog, in striving to save you, tore off these pieces which I show you." They were real wampum, white and blue, shining and beautiful, and the young man, placing them in his bosom, set off. But as he did not seem quite ready in his belief of the strange woman's story, the dog Spirit Iron, taking his arm, kept close by his side. Bread. Yes, I've got bread brain today. Okay. Gave him words of encouragement as they went along. They entered the lodge together, and the old toad woman saw, from something in the dog's eye, that trouble was coming. "Mother," said the young man, placing his hand to his head and leaning heavily upon Spirit Iron, as if a sudden faintness had come upon him, "why am I so different in looks from the rest of your children?" "Oh," she answered, "it was a very bright, clear blue sky when you were born. That is the reason." He seemed to be so very ill that the toad woman at length asked what she could do for him. He said nothing could do him good but the sight of his cradle. She ran immediately and brought a cedar cradle, but he said, "That is not my cradle." She went and got another of her own children's cradles, of which there were 4, But he turned his head and said, "That is not mine. I am as sick as ever. I don't understand how seeing your cradle will make you feel less sick, but I mean, okay." When she had shown the four, and they had all been rejected, she at last produced the real cradle. The young man saw that it was the same stuff as the wampum which he had in his bosom. He could even see the marks of the teeth of spirit iron left upon the edges, where he had taken hold, striving to hold it back. He had no doubt now which was his mother. To get free of the old toad woman, it was necessary that the young man should kill a fat bear, and being directed by spirit iron, who was very wise in such a matter, he secured the fattest in all that country. Like the fat bear competition. Do you guys know about that? Okay. Um, and having stripped the tall pine of all its bark and branches, he perched the carcass in the top. My freaking yawning. He perched the carcass in the top, with its head to the east and its tail due west. Returning to the lodge, he informed the old toad woman that the fat bear was ready for her, but she would have to go very far, even to the end of the earth, to get it. She answered, "It is not so far that I can get it, but that I can get it." For of all things in the world, a fat bear was the delight of the old toad woman. Well, all right then. Why do I see why? It is right, Andrew. I am looking after the apothecary, and so I have all the stuffs that Vi has. Well, not exactly all the stuff, but I have some of the stuff. And that includes the rats. I like it a lot. Okay. She set forth at once, and she was no sooner out of sight than the young man and his dog, Spirit Iron, blowing a strong breath in the face of the Toad Woman's 4 children, who were all bad spirits or bear fiends, they put out their life. Okay, so the dog just breathed and killed them. How how does this work? How did that not work for other things? Anyway. Oh my god. They then set them up by the side of the door, having first thrust a piece of the white fat in each of their mouths. Weird. Okay. The Toad Woman spent a long time in finding the bear which she had been sent after, and she made at least 25 attempts before she was able to climb to the carcass. She slipped down 3 times, where she went up once. When she returned with the great bear on her back, as she drew near her lodge, she was astonished to see the 4 children standing up by the doorposts with the fat in their mouths. She was angry with them and called out, "Why do you thus insult the pomatum of your brother?" Pomatum? I don't know. But I could have sworn that they were dead. No? Okay. Oh, yeah, she's just not realizing it. She was still more angry when they made no answer to her complaint, but when she found that they were dead, and placed in this way to mock her, her fury was very great indeed. She ran after the tracks of the young man and his mother as fast as she could, so fast, indeed, that she was on the very point of overtaking them when the dog, Spirit Iron, coming close up to his master, whispered to him, "Snakeberry, let the snakeberry spring up and detain her," cried out the young man, and immediately the berries spread like scarlet all over the path, for a long distance, and the old Toad Woman, who was almost as fond of these berries as she was of fat bears, could not avoid stooping down to pick and eat. The old Toad Woman was very anxious to get forward, but the snakeberry vines kept spreading out on every side, and they still grow and spread, and to this day the wicked old Toad Woman is busy picking the berries, and she will never be able to get beyond to the other side to disturb the happiness of the young hunter and his mother, who still live with their faithful dog in the shadow of the beautiful woodside where they were born. Well, what happened to the husband, to the dad? Because he disappeared. What? No, we don't care? Okay. Well, at the end, that's it. All right. But there was our stories. Big yawns. I'm very eepy. You say it's the most ambitious crossover since Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What about when me and Vi streamed together instead of just me in her apothecary? Was that not one of the crossovers too? No? Uh, well, I think it is time to wrap up and prep a raid. That was a collab, not a crossover. There's a distinction. Oh, okay, okay. Well, we're gonna have this crossover for, well, the rest of my streaming days. I'm gonna be doing this and hanging out. Next week I'll be back in Emerald Lake, and I should have my new mic, which won't be a 3DO, and I'm now quite grateful of that. uh, but I'm excited. I'm excited to not have the popping and owls for you guys. I was not very good today. There were some loud things, but I'll do what I can. Vi is out. Vi is on away, doing her witchy things. But I am looking after Apothecary. I am not authorized to make or sell or touch potions, but I am here to guard them. We know, well, Vi's fans know that there used to be a different witch here, not a bad witch, and I'll be telling some of the story of that eventually when I read my Frog origin story. Don't break anything, Raven. I sure hope I don't. Because with potions too, if I do break something, then something else happens because it's magic. That's two big messes I don't want to have to deal with. Oop. It'll be a problem. Can you leave a note about the chocolate mint? I can't. Let's grab this. I brought Vi her little origamis that we made, because you guys know that. And I brought a few papers with it. I can put a little note on the back. Violetta says, do you have any chocolate mint for hot cocoa? Is that what you want me to write? As a self-proclaimed and accepted janitor of the apothecary, please be careful, but just let me know if you do break something so I don't get surprised by a mess in the morning. Understood, Kate. Okay, you got it. Yeah, okay. Violetta Ash says, do you have any mint chocolate for hot cocoa? Yes, and maybe some mugwort. Hot cocoa potion. Yes. Okay. It has been noted. Alright. But where are we rating? I will hum. Yeah, I will hum. the heck was that? A window happened and it was loud. I'm trying to find... Okay, can you drop the raid messages now so that I can copy now? Because normally I have a system that works and I can't make it work right now. Thank you. So there's our raid messages. Let's copy that. And then we're going to it's sushi. It's sushi. I can do this. I can do this. It's sushi. There we go. Okay, this might get spicy apparently. Yes, yes, I see Rose. Okay, so this is where we're going. Alright, everybody, I hope you have a good time. I cannot see your messages right now, and I don't like that, but this is how I have this. I'm going to drop our message. Thanks so much for joining me, watching. I'll be back tonight. We'll do SCPs. I'm gonna fiddle around with tech and see if I can't sort things. I'm excited. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start our rating. Yeah, I hope everybody has a good day, had a good day, eats well, will eat well. Make sure you get lots of water, make sure you are fed, make sure we're staying safe from weather. Lately it has been stormy on and off here, and then of course it's very warm. So I hope everybody's staying safe. Alrighties. Bye bye. Here we go. Raiding. Raid.